He said, "No one can know about us." I believed him. I trusted him. Until I found out I was girlfriend number 5. It started in my second year at the university. I lived off campus in a small, self-contained apartment in Lucky. Nothing fancy, just a bed, a reading table, and a tiny kitchen where I made jollof rice that could raise the dead. That's how I met Victor. He was in final year, tall, handsome, the kind of guy who wore confidence like a second skin. He had this smile that made you feel like you were the only person in the room, even when you weren't. We met at a fellowship program. He walked up to me after the service, Bible in hand, and said, "You have a beautiful spirit." I blushed like a fool. Within 2 weeks, we were inseparable. He started coming to my place every evening. We'd talk for hours about God, about life, about our dreams. He told me he wanted to be a pastor someday, that he was looking for a woman who could stand beside him, not behind him. "Amaka," he'd say, holding my hands across the table, "you're different. You're the one I've been praying for." I believed him. Before long, he had a key to my apartment. He'd sleep over on weekends, I'd cook for him, wash his clothes, listen to him complain about his course mates, his lecturers, his life. I became his refuge, and I loved it. I loved being needed. But there was one rule. "No one on campus can know about us," he said one night, lying beside me in the dim light of my room. I turned to face him. "Why not?" He sighed, running his hair through his hair. "Amaka, you know how people are. If they know I'm in a relationship, it'll affect my reputation. People look up to me. I'm a leader in the fellowship. I can't afford distractions or gossip." "But I'm not a distraction, Victor." "I know, baby, I know." He kissed my forehead. "But they won't see it that way. Let's just keep this between us for now. When I graduate and get settled, we'll go public. I promise." I wanted to argue, but the way he looked at me, so sincere, so vulnerable, I melted. "Okay," I whispered. "I trust you." That was my first mistake. Months passed. Off campus, Victor was mine, completely. He'd show up at my door with his backpack, exhausted from lectures, and collapse on my bed. I'd make him food, we'd watch movies, pray together. He'd hold me and whisper things that made my heart race. "You're my peace, Amaka. I don't know what I'd do without you." But on campus, I was a ghost. The first time it happened, I thought it was a mistake. I saw him walking toward the faculty building with some friends. I smiled and waved. He looked right through me. Didn't even blink. I stood there, frozen, my hands still in the air like an idiot. Later that evening, when he came to my place, I confronted him. "Victor, why did you ignore me today?" He didn't even look up from his phone. "I didn't see you." "You looked directly at me." "Amaka, I was in a hurry. Don't overthink it." I wanted to push, but I didn't. I swallowed the hurt and convinced myself it was nothing. But it kept happening. Again and again and again. I'd see him in the cafeteria, laughing with his friends, and I'd walk past. Not a glance, not a nod. I'd spot him at fellowship meetings, leading worship, preaching about love and truth, and afterward, when I tried to approach him, he'd give me a quick, cold smile and turn away. It was like I didn't exist. One day, my roommate, Chisum, noticed. "Amaka, isn't that your boyfriend?" she asked, pointing across the campus quad. I followed her gaze. Victor was sitting under a tree with a group of students, laughing. "Yeah," I said quietly. "Why don't you go say hi?" I didn't know how to explain it. "He's busy," I said. Chisum frowned. "Busy? Amaka, is everything okay with you two?" "We're fine." But I wasn't fine. I was breaking. Then came the day that shattered everything. I was walking to the library when I saw them. Victor. And a girl. She was light-skinned, wearing a tight dress and heels. Her hand was locked in his, and he was smiling. Not the tired, worn-out smile he gave me when he was exhausted. This was different. This was pride. He was showing her off. in broad daylight, on campus, the same campus where I didn't exist. My heart stopped. I stood there, rooted to the ground, watching them walk past like they were in a music video. He didn't see me, or maybe he did and just didn't care. I don't know which hurt more. I went home and cried until I had no tears left. When Victor showed up that evening, acting like nothing happened, I lost it. "Who is she?" I asked, my voice shaking. He looked confused. "Who?" "The girl you were holding hands with today, on campus, in front of everyone." His face went blank. Then he laughed. Actually laughed. "Amaka, are you serious right now? That was my course mate. We were just walking to class." "You were holding her hand, Victor." "It wasn't like that. You're being paranoid." "I saw you." He stood up, suddenly angry. "You know what your problem is? You're too insecure. I can't even have female friends without you making it a big deal." I stared at him, stunned. He flipped it, made me the problem. "If you can't trust me, maybe we need to rethink this," he said coldly. I should have let him walk out, but I didn't. I apologized. I actually apologized for confronting him, and he stayed. 2 weeks later, I found out the truth. Chisum came home one evening looking uncomfortable. "Amaka, we need to talk." She sat me down and pulled out her phone. "I didn't want to show you this, but you need to see it." She opened Instagram. There was a post from a girl named Blessing. The caption read, "1 year with my king. God really answered my prayers." And there, in the photo, smiling like he'd won the lottery, was Victor. I felt my stomach drop. "There's more," Chisum said quietly. She scrolled. Another girl, another post, another caption about love and forever. 3 girls, 3 different relationships, all public, all on campus. And then there was me, the one he hid, the one he gaslighted, the one he made feel crazy for asking questions. I didn't cry this time. I just felt empty. Chisum hugged me. "I'm so sorry, Amaka." But I wasn't sorry anymore. I was done. When Victor came over that night, I was calm. "We need to talk," I said. He sat down, casual as ever. "What's up?" I placed my phone on the table, Blessing's post facing him. His face went pale. "Amaka," he started. "Don't," I said quietly. "I'm not here to fight. I just want to understand. Why me? Why hide me?" He didn't answer. "Was I not pretty enough, not good enough to be seen with you?" "It's not like that." "Then what is it like, Victor? Because I gave you everything. I opened my home to you. I fed you. I loved you. And you couldn't even acknowledge me in public." His jaw tightened. "You knew what this was." "No, I knew what you told me it was. A secret for your reputation. But you had no problem holding her hand or posting her picture. So what was I really?" Silence. And then he said the words that set me free. "You were convenient, Amaka. That's all." I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because finally, he told the truth. "Get out," I said. "Amaka, get out of my house and don't ever come back." He stood, hesitated, then left. I locked the door behind him, and I never opened it for him again. Victor tried to reach me after that. Calls, texts, voice notes begging for forgiveness. I blocked him. Weeks turned into months. I heard through the grapevine that the other girls found out about each other, that his reputation crumbled, that he became the campus joke. But by then, I didn't care, because I had already moved on. I focused on my studies. I graduated with honors. I walked across that stage, diploma in hand, and I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Freedom. Victor taught me a painful but precious lesson. When someone hides you, it's not because they're protecting you. It's because they're protecting themselves from accountability, from consequences, from being seen as anything less than perfect. Love doesn't hide. Love doesn't make you feel small. Love doesn't gaslight you for asking to be treated with basic respect. And the moment you accept being someone's secret, you accept being less than you deserve. I am no one's secret. Not anymore. Not ever again.